ready now.
Tasked with the unenviable job of rebooting the legendary Castlevania series, Mercury Steam, with Hideo Kojima serving as producer, would look to other games of the time to help shape this new beginning. Inevitably, moving away from the highly rated Metroidvania structure of its predecessors wouldn't please everyone. Others, however, praised it as a fresh start, likening it to the drastic changes the series underwent during the late 90s. Taken on its own merits, Lords of Shadow is a highly engrossing adventure with strong combat, an engaging narrative, and a wide spread of styles. Not all of it is successful, but most of it is enjoyable. Gabriel Belmont is a member of a group of knights sent to protect civilians from supernatural monsters known as the Brotherhood of Light. After his wife is killed and trapped in limbo due to disturbances within the world, Gabriel is sent across the land to procure upgrades to enable his progression and face the Lords of Shadow in order to help restore balance. Anchored by excellent performances from Robert Carlyle and Patrick Stewart, you can tell Kojima advised on the direction of the story, with beautifully directed sequences and some neat twists, especially the ending and stinger for the second game. It also has little to do with the previous game's narratives, providing a good starting point for newcomers.
Give me your dagger, quickly!
Spread across 12 chapters and 2 discs, Lords of Shadow eschews the open design of Symphony of the Night in favour of a world map, level structure, and less backtracking. But there is a focus on collecting power-ups as you expand Gabriel's repertoire. This ranges from platforming items such as a hook, to combat elements such as the Dark Gauntlet, which lets you smash through weaker walls. This, in a roundabout way, encourages level replays, as previously inaccessible collectibles can be earned with a revisit. Along with health and magic upgrades, and trials which are available after completing each level once, and with the lengthy number of chapters, it can last upwards of 20 hours despite a more straightforward approach, as you vie for the coveted 110% completion. Lords of Shadow encompasses a huge number of gameplay elements. The primary function is combat, which at an initial glance will lead you to assume Mercury Steam were playing too much God of War. However, some cool tweaks do add flair to the proceedings. Gabriel can soon utilise light and dark magic, which each add their own buff. Light heals Gabriel with each strike, while dark increases the damage given. A bevy of combos can be bought via earned XP, and with a vast array of enemies requiring different strategies, including enemies who utilise each magic as a defence, and it keeps things interesting. You can also acquire special items to assist you, including holy water, distraction fairies, and a dark crystal, which is like a screen clearer from a shmup. There's a heavy reliance on parrying, which when done successfully, fills a focus meter. At full, each strike then rewards orbs which refill magic, dictated by pressing down an analog stick. There's a lot more going on under the hood here, for those willing to experiment. Platforming is a bit more basic, seeing Gabriel able to clamber along ledges, swing on hooks, and wall jump. When it works, it can be fluid and fun to partake in, and for the most part, platforming is pretty decent. There are a couple of issues which sour it, however. The static, far camera angles are great at showcasing the scenery, but prove perhaps too distant to aid jump accuracy, sometimes leading to a cheap fall. This is okay for the most part, as falling down most pits will just lead to a chunk of health being taken off rather than death. The only downside is that it can leave Gabriel with minimal health before a combat encounter, and while careful magic use can help regenerate it, some enemies are more difficult than others. But for the most part, it breaks up the action quite nicely and allows for some beautiful, quiet moments. One of this Castlevania's greatest strengths, and also a source of flaws, is its sheer variety. Along with more traditional segments seeing you jump and smash through enemies, there's a ludicrous amount of one-off stage types which range from engrossing to flawed, often focusing on a puzzle. One highlight is later in the game, where you explore a creepy field while spooking crows towards scarecrows, whom you fight when reanimated. Mechanically effective and creepily atmospheric, it works really well. On the other hand, you have some parts which don't work as well, such as an unwieldy mirror puzzle set in a library and replete with highly shielded knights. But the good usually outweighs the bad, whether it's a cool trek through a hazard-filled music box, taming monsters and riding them to solve puzzles, and perhaps the best parts, the epic boss fights, which require strategy and skill to beat, though some may sour on the reliance of quick-time events at certain points. Lords of Shadow would also boast one of the best presentations of the generation. Using a proprietary engine from the developer, it boasts a beautiful range of colours, gorgeously crafted backgrounds that are spacious, and fluid animations, especially during cutscenes. The range of monster designs, from grotesque werewolves to untamed vampires, as well as gargantuan bosses such as the Ice Titan, are a highlight. The sound is excellent too, with the aforementioned voice actors giving excellent performances, solid writing bar some erroneous translations, and fantastic music which utilises some epic orchestral tracks. The only bummer is a lack of motifs and sounds from the iconic series, which could be to emphasise the reboot nature of this one, but still is a shame. But in the end, Castlevania Lords of Shadow is easily the best of the series' 3D entries and a fantastic reboot in its own right. While perhaps derivative in spots, and the variety of mechanics sometimes miss the mark, these feel minor in the broader scheme of things. Visceral combat, a bevy of standout moments, and an engrossing story will keep players hooked. While purists may still be unable to look past the overhauls and the lack of nods to previous games, most will find Lords of Shadow a highly respectable adventure.